Hey guys and girls, Mark from Gunpla Network here, today with the review of the Master Grade Jesta Cannon limited release clear colour version, courtesy of the awesome folks over at Side 7 Exports. For all your Gundam base, limited edition and P-Bandai needs, check out our link in the description below, and don't forget the discount code for 10% off. I'm still pretty new to Master Grade kits, but this bad boy did not disappoint. It was such a great build and looks spectacular, as you can see. First up, the uniframe. It's highly detailed, but easy enough to build. It's in kind of like a gunmetal grey colour, I guess you would say, and would look epic enough, just like this on the shelf without adding the armour. But obviously you want to add the armour. That's just the most basic thing. But it just looks great. I like that. It looks complete and highly detailed. Would love a paint job. Now on the frame, I just want to show you this little leg gimmick. So without the armor on. So you can pull down on the leg to get more length, helping with the articulation. But it would throw off the proportions if it was left out. It would look too tall. So Bandai was pretty sneaky with this one. And you can see there, you can get more bend out of the knee if you've pulled that up. Very, very sneaky Bandai, but in a good way. And then you just click it closed. Alright, all armoured up in its base form, just a Jesta, like any other Jesta, except for the forearm shield. And the bigger shoulders. I get some good vibes from this kit, the whites, the blues, just right in that semi-clear colour. And it was a really fun and enjoyable build. Now, the accessories. Starting off with the shield, it's got these cool white missiles on the side, a solid gunmetal backing plate, I guess, for it. Nicely coloured, but minimal detail. So there's an adapter there to plug onto the backpack, which doesn't work on this one because we have the cannon. You get a handle that you could hold in the hand, but you wouldn't be able to support with just that alone. There's the moving swivel bracket on the side there that allows you to pull off some cool poses if it's attached to the Jesta. Now, if you have a standard Jesta, I believe you could actually, using the parts you get from this kit, have a second shield, which is really cool. The heavy version of the carbine rifle. So, this is really cool. It's all in that dark blue plastic. It's epic. It has sensors, a bucket down the bottom for all the ammo, but that's fixed, you can't take it off. An opening gimmick on the back. Lots of detail. It does have the sliding piece for the hand grip like we saw with the 3.0 before I reviewed. Same hands. So if you want to lock the weapon in place. Now you will need to lock the weapon in place, I found, with this version of the gun because it was just too heavy to hold on its own. I found the wrist was constantly giving way. Okay, so that's what attaches into the hand, and the palm has another piece which slides into the empty spot you've just created on the grip. But wait, there's more. You can actually, with the spare parts, make the stock carbine rifle. Now, you don't get another polycap, unfortunately, because that's in the other rifle holding the top part on, so I just used some blue tack. If you have enough spare polycaps around from other kits, you might be able to find one that suits. Otherwise, just glue it in place for the sight. You get the folding grip in the right colour. Unfortunately, the rifle is a clear white. There's an ammo that just plugs off. Now, on ammo, you do get 3, 4, 5, plus the 3 or 4 on the arm there. Yep, 3. So you get like 8 or 9 of these ammo clips. It's just insane. I guess this guy could be carrying for the whole platoon of Jesters. But yeah, it's cool. So you're missing that piece there for the grip, but I guess you could make that out of pla plate, 1mm piece, easy enough. Just cut down with a drill hole or something in it. This is a dark one this time. Just attaches up underneath on the clip there. And there you go. I really love the look of this weapon. It's got a genuine real-life feel to, a military weapon. Now that is that rifle there above it too, but you've just got tons of other additional parts thrown up on top and without the sight. So that's really cool, and thank you Bandai for all the spare parts. You get 2 beam saber handles, effect parts, sorry, but only 1 handle. Now, unfortunately, unlike the high grade that Spicer Reviews did recently, you don't, or at least I'll triple check my parts later, but I didn't get it and it wasn't in the guide, a hip mounted holder for this. So pretty standard beam saber. It's like the 3.0 ones, it's got the same piece in the handle there that you can push through and lock into the hand, but being a beam saber, they're not too heavy, you don't actually need it. Grab my trusty knife and do that again for you. But yeah, because of the forearm shield on the Cannon version, because you can't have a shield, so they bulked out the forearm to create a shield, you can't store that like a beam tonfa, unfortunately, which, like I said in the unboxing, was one of my favorite kind of things about the late UC era. You had beam sabers built into the forearms to flick forward. So I guess you could do a little customization and put that, make your own hip mounted one, or cut down the grenades on the side hip part and stick it in there. But yeah, unfortunately, he'll have to hold it if you want to have it on display with him. And there's your piece there that just clicks in and holds in the hand. Like I said, beam saber's not very heavy, not an issue. Alright, you've also got a... Oh yeah, sorry. That's what I was talking about, the forearm there. Because you do have the parts, if you didn't want to put the shield on there, you could make the standard forearm to hold it, but then I guess you'd be missing some of the Cannon look. Right, so the backpack, main event. Now this is the standard Jesta backpack. And you can see there, that's where you could fit in the shield. It's got the thrusters or verniers that move. It's got side to side again, so you could lock that on either side really, if you didn't have the Cannon on, hence why I'm saying you could put 2 on. Now the Cannon part just attaches to the top, it's in that white clear and dark clears. That adds a bit of bulk again to the top of the pack, but unfortunately, yeah, you wouldn't be able to clip that in without some mod work and it might ruin the look. You get the beam Gatling and the hyper launcher, or mega beam cannon. They go up and down, good range of motion, but unfortunately no side to side, so you actually have to turn the suit with it to get any kind of side to side motion. There's your action base adapter, pretty standard, and you get your pilot figure in a clear, so definitely you probably want to paint that guy. There is a seated pilot figure. Now, excess parts bag, so many spare bits. If you love scratch building and mods, you'll dig these parts. So I've got them all in there, that's all the leftover bits. There was some weapon parts, armor parts, like as you can see, chest, arms. So many spare bits. If you're a modeler, then you'll love it. Now, the articulation. So for the articulation, there is the neck. It's got the light piping in it, so it might look a little funny. But it still has a really, really great range of motion, considering it's a light piping gimmick and it's got the piece below is vacant for the LED unit. Now, the visor's orange. I mean, I wish maybe they gave you a couple of different options. I don't know if the orange really sits with the blue well, but hey, it's what came with it. I think you'd be better off suited getting a clear LED for this unit rather than an orange. I only had a green one on hand. Now, talking about the arm range of motion, they'll turn all the way around, easy as. They'll go all the way up. Now, you can pull the shoulders forward. And that is it. It's got a nice pull-out mechanism. It's like some of the other MGs you've seen, like a 3.0 or something. The back skirt will fall off. That one was a little loose. They're just on ball joints. So yeah, the arm will go up a pretty good way. And they've got a great bend in the elbow there, so you can get that forearm shield up. And it's got some nice inner detail too. Now the hands. These are like the hands from the 3.0 Gundam I did recently. I'm not a huge fan. The wrists on mine seem kind of loose. They like to come out a lot whenever you're playing with them. It just made it hard to pose with the big beefy kind of carbine. So just go easy with them and they're not too bad. I just find it takes a little longer than, say, having fixed hands. I think I'm definitely becoming a fan of those fixed hands that you just swap out the fingers or a whole hand. But they definitely work for like expressiveness. You can kind of just bend them every which way, pop them back in if they get loose out. Now the torso, you can go back a little, front a little, side to side a little, which is pretty good considering how bulky the waist is. So it is a really cool because it opens top and bottom. There's a little hinge in there. There you go. Pull that up. The seated pilot figure is in there. You got your yellow piece V on the crotch. The front skirts, yeah. Things pop off. Those white parts are an extra layer, I guess, of armor bulk to the front skirt, but they're kind of loose. So that's almost a piece you want to glue on a little bit, a touch of thin cement or something, just to hold them on. You can see they sit over the standard one, so while they look cool, they're not really that well attached. And they will cause the front skirt to not move up as far as you kind of want to do it. And then when you try and do it even more, it just pops off again. I would have said the only other way Bandai could have fixed this was with more like a real grade front skirt system, where they have like a double hinge piece that can kind of move up, down, and then the side skirts swivel pretty well, but once again, ball joint, they'll just pop off. While we're on the side skirts, if I grab my knife again, they pop open to reveal the grenades that are on the hip mounted, and the legs do the same. They're all joined together though, unfortunately, so yeah, they're better off closed, but you can do a full open pose with them like you're about to launch hell. The back skirt ball joint just wants to pop off any chance it gets on this kit. Well, for me at least. Probably just a touch of clear coat would help that on those. Back skirt, you can open up the back piece and store the rifle like you saw in the opening video. The legs will go up, but you will hit that knee guard. But if you move that up like that, you can get a little higher. And if you remember, you can pull out. Done. Then you can go a little higher again and then extend the leg out a bit more because you've cleared the front skirt. Now it isn't the leg, it's the front skirt that hampers the movement there. Okay. Down at the legs, we'll talk about you've got the grenade pod on the side. Once again, same thing, all three joined together, but you can open that up. Ankle has got a huge amount of articulation. The ankle guard's pretty thick, doesn't move too much, but the ankle can then open up. It's a double polycap ball joint system there, and so it looks empty in the foot, but yeah, you get a huge amount of bend out of that. So this guy definitely got nothing wrong with his ankles. Alright, if I pop the leg off, I just want to show you the waist joint that they've put in here. So it's got like the 2.0 Mark II, it's got a rotating waist kind of system. Now, double-edged sword, it does give you that extra range of motion, but it can also be a problem. If you're not real careful when moving it, you could snap the peg inside or white stress mark it when you're rotating it around. It'll give you an extra range of motion, but you could break it. So when I was assembling mine, I actually put like a little grease in there. I think it was Vaseline, like a little clear kind of lubricant gel, just to kind of make sure it was going to move for a bit. Oh, and then he goes. He just popped apart. So that piping system kind of looks like a Xeon thing. It sits between the body and the waist, and I think the polycap fully attaches in, but it's just a weak joint. Alright, here it is, spinning around, fully loaded up as it should come in the guide. So it's an awesome kit, and compared to the high grade that Spicer just reviewed, it was actually, it looks epic, it's bigger, but still very similar. And there was that hip mounted beam saber that Cody had. So Spicer, take it away with your clip and let's have a look at both of them.
Thanks, Mark. The high-grade Universal Sentry Jesta Cannon is a wonderful little high-grade. It's exactly what you would expect from a high-grade for this kit. All the accessories you would need are there, plus some from the original Jesta, as well as the articulation being perfectly serviceable for all the poses you'd need to get this big boy into.
Alright, LED time now to have a look. So here it is spinning in the dark. You can kind of see a little bit of leaking out of the edge of the backpack there. But I only had a green, non-Bandai, I had a kind of cheaper one I found for $5 each. A green MGX or something it's called, LED unit. Works the same, looks the same, but yeah, I could only find green. So unfortunately you're seeing green through the orange visor. Now if we take a little look at the close-up, that's what it looks like when you pull the backpack out. The whole unit slides out of the top of the chest. There's the unit from underneath. Now you can see a little bit of leak around the neck too, unfortunately. Now I think you can fix that up with some paint that might work around the neck. Not on the top part because you want it to leak out on top. You can see the back of the head camera even gets lit up a little. The visor. So I think a clear would best serve this here instead of an orange or a red LED. Posing this kit is fun and there are plenty of poses to do. Here it is in like a ground pose, leaning forward, giving the enemy kind of full blast. You can see the leg articulation is great. It can support the weight of everything on top. And how awesome does that look? Shield up, firing the big cannons on and Gatling gun on top, as well as the huge rifle. Or you can get him up on an action base, and he's pretty stable. Open up all the weapons, and let slip the dogs of war. Keep that beam saber handy though, for a charging pose or a defensive pose. It's a shame they didn't include that hip-mounted case that you saw on Spice's HG kit for the, you could swap out one of the grenade launching or hand grenades on the side hips to hold the beam saber there. Alright guys, thanks for joining us for today's review. Huge thanks to Side 7 Exports for sending this kit my way to review. I don't know what else I can say about it. It's definitely a grab kit. Get it for your collection. The Jesta Cannon. Side 7 Exports has this, the clear cannon that you can get, which is a limited edition one for sale. So grab one of these. The clear parts definitely make it worth it. You get a ton of spare parts, being the cannon kit, spare shield, spare weapon, spare armor. It's all there. So this is definitely one of my top MG kits so far that I've built. And I think it actually appeared in our top 10 MG kits in the video here on this channel. So we'll throw links in the description below. Obviously, I am a huge Jesta fan from my shirt. So yeah, it inspired me. What can I say? All right, thanks for joining us. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment below so we can chat about it. Keep building.